Hello, and welcome back to the Holistic Witch's Cottage. My name is Melissa, and I am the Holistic Witch. And at the time of this recording, it is December 16th, 2025, and we're going to talk a little bit about the holidays, some politics, magic, and how everything is interconnected. So, yesterday was December 15th. That date triggered a memory for me. When I was young, my mother had a rule about setting the Christmas tree up. Sometimes we had live, we usually had artificial. At December 15th at 6 o'clock, from 6 to 7, it was a rule, and there were a lot of tree rules, and that memory triggered me a little bit today. So today we're going to talk a little bit about triggers, shadow work, and word and practice banning. Okay, so over the weekend, hubby, kiddo, and myself went to one of our favorite farmers markets to do a thing that's become a tradition in our family. This farmers market sets up photo ops seasonally, so they do a huge amount for Christmas, and I love to play with my camera, and I've posted some reels from it and different things, and I thought some shots looked pretty cute, so I posted one of myself on the Holistic Witch's Cottage page. So I know that some of you follow me on my personal profile and some of my other groups, but some of you have never seen me. There is a real person behind these words that I write and I do in videos and I say on this podcast. So there is a real person. I'm a real person. So let that resonate however you want that to resonate for you. So yesterday a thing happened on one of the larger Facebook groups. I have some sort of expert contributor title on there. I go on some of those because Facebook dashboard gives me rules that I must follow to keep my page running. So wonderful Facebook rules. Okay, so I was on, it was a witch group, and it was someone who stated that they were new, a brand new baby witch, not one of my favorite terms, but okay, under the anonymous participant, whatever, setting. And that's not my favorite thing. Facebook's overuse of anonymous participant and this new nickname feature. I know if you're an administrator of a group, you see who those people really are. But if you're just a user or a follower on the group, you don't know who those people are, and if they're constant troublemaking trolls, you can't block them. I don't love that feature. But this question, this statement, it was more of a statement. This person does not like the word magic, M-A-G-I-C, because it is icky. This person prefers lofty language like ceremonial rituals. Cool. Use whatever words you want. But this got into a conversation about accommodations and how certain words should be banned from the group because this anonymous participant does not like them. I wrote a professional response, at least I hope it was a professional response, and then I decided to pull it down because I did not want to feed a troll. But I shared the experience over on the Holistic Cottage page, and I got a lot of engagement on that. So I said I would talk about it on the podcast, and here I am. I'm going to. So, first of all, Cottage peeps, how do you feel about the anonymous participant setting and the new nickname setting? Do you think trolls should be allowed to hide behind these settings? I understand on public groups they have a nice purpose because, especially for people who are in the BC, the broom closet. If it's a public group, they don't want their friends or family members to know that they're on there. But other than that, how do you feel about bad behavior being encouraged through the use of those settings? The other thing is, how do you feel about word banning? How do you feel about if somebody joins a magical group, a witchcraft group, a paganism group, a mysticism group, and they start making demands about what words they refuse, what words may not be on the group? They don't like those words, so those words are not allowed to be used. In this case, the word was magic. It triggered some thoughts for me. I'm going to be very forthcoming about that. Before I ran this page, I had another cottage group, my original cottage group. Not the first place I did this and wrote. I wrote this on another platform under a ghostwriting type thing. But under my own name and my own identity, I did this first under a Facebook group. It was a Christian witch group. And I used to encounter a lot of problems with word banning. People would join who were obviously carrying a lot of triggers and reporting words that they didn't like. So on my old group, the most common words that got banned were magic, spelled M-A-G-I-C, and M-A-G-I-C-K. There is a difference between the meanings of the two. Witch, warlock, readings, spells, caster, casting, and tarot. I had people that would Facebook report any post that anybody made with those words in them. So I guess my question is to you, cottage family, how do you feel about word bans? Do you think those of us that run and administer groups and pages should be more cognizant to accommodate people's shadow work triggers? Or do you think that people who join magical groups should be prepared to see magical words? I mean, like, I don't care for sports. I didn't use this analogy in the first recording, but this works. Okay, I grew up in a very football-oriented family, and I'm not an athlete by any means. I do yoga, I'm strong, I do light weights, we kayak. I mean, I try to keep in shape, but I've never been a competitive athlete. I was more like in competitive music. And I don't think I belong to any like football or baseball groups. If the topic pops up on something, I could probably have a reasonably intelligent conversation about the topic, but it's not something I enjoy, so, I'm not going to go on there. But if I were to join a football group, I wouldn't tell people that they couldn't use like the words football or quarterback or penalty or whatever. I wouldn't tell them that they couldn't use the language that pertains to that topic. So it bothers me that people come on magical groups and tell the regulars that we're not allowed to use magical words. It makes no sense to me. But I'd love your opinion on that. So this led me to creating some shadow work prompts. Remembering the trouble that I had on my own group, I wish I had been more fluent in shadow work at this time because I probably would have addressed it more. If there is a word that triggers you, let's use the example of magic. Although it doesn't trigger me at all, if that's a word that triggers someone, it triggered an anonymous participant. What is it about that word that triggers you? Is it the meaning of the word? What feelings does it elicit? Does it elicit a memory? Does it elicit a rule? If it elicits a rule or a belief, is it your belief or is it someone else's belief that you were told you must obey? I think these are things that many of us could benefit from in many topic areas of our life. Let's go back to football for a moment. So again, being raised in a football-centric house, I talked a little bit about Mom's OCDs. I've talked about that various places. Mom was very OCD about football, and to the point where it was debilitating at times. It makes me wonder, like, what happened. Mom's been gone for 9 years now, but it makes me wonder, like, what happened when she was younger. I know her oldest brother played for Penn State University and actually played pro for Dallas Cowboys for a while. So I don't think he got very far with that, because his main career was he was an insurance salesman his whole life. But, like, it makes me wonder what happened in my mom's childhood that she had, like, these football rules. Now, my dad had football rules too, but they were different rules, and they often conflicted with each other, which is probably why I have no use for it today. It was not something that was pleasant in my home. It was something that was forced, and it always resulted in a fight and too much alcohol and too much ridiculousness. So I know what my trigger is on that, and I know why I tend to stay away from that. So it makes me wonder, and I talked a little bit about, is it Christian programming? Because I know on my old group this used to come up all the time. Individuals who were raised in more strict church environments seem to have a harder time resolving the Christian witch thing, or what that meant to them. Now, my family wasn't churchy. Mom had been Catholic, Dad had been Presbyterian, but by the time I was born, because I'm the youngest, they've fallen away from that. I was raised, how did I write it up earlier in the week? With some Christian beliefs that I basically, found from other people, other places. Borrowed Christian beliefs, I think I called it. Some folk magic from my mom's Slavic side, and a lot of time out in nature, because I grew up on the edge of the woods all around us. That was my faith, that was my spirituality, and I didn't realize that other people weren't magical or didn't believe in magic until I went to college the first time in a big city when I was 18. I thought that everyone dabbled in folk magic. Boy, was I wrong. But I would love your opinions on this topic and others. I think I will leave it at that. I promised my oat milk recipe and a story. So when we were out doing the photo op thing, I think Miss Melissa overdid it a little bit. Then we stopped at the small Walmart, not at the super center. And I started not feeling well and needed to eat. So I forgot to buy milk and I forgot to buy creamer. And when we were driving home, there was a pretty significant snowfall starting. So I have shoveled, hubby shoveled, and then I have shoveled at least 6 more times since then. And I was not able to get out and go get milk. So I decided to make oat milk. What you need is a blender. It sounds like Santa's bringing a better one. Yay, because mine's like 20 years old and it was dollar store garbage to begin with. So I have an old blender. I start with 3 cups of water, 1 cup of uncooked old-fashioned oats. I like the Bob's Red Mill kind, but you can use whatever you prefer. I mix the water and the oats in the blender and run it for about 2 minutes on the highest setting I have. So on my junky blender, it's just called blend. It's bad. Okay. Then I let that go 2 minutes and I strain that into a container using a fine mesh sieve. I used to line it with a coffee filter first, but it made the process so slow and tedious I couldn't stand it. So now I just run it twice. So I strain it. I set the mushy oat leftovers aside because I use them to make biscuits for Momo afterwards. Okay? And then I strain it, I rinse out my blender to get the little bit of yuck from the bottom, and I run it again. I added a little bit more water because it was thick. And I ran it for 1 more minute and then used the pulse feature until I felt good with it. I added some vanilla, and you can use a sweetener. I used Splenda. My recipe called for maple syrup, which is very high in carbs, so I don't use that for kiddo because of his diabetes. So I used a half cup of Splenda and some vanilla. Let it run on a lower setting. I ran it through the sieve again. I really didn't need to. I barely got anything solid from it. I added a little bit more water, and I believe I got 2.5 to almost 3 cups of oat milk out of that. By my math, it cost me 20 to 25 cents to make 3 cups of milk with that recipe because I was basically snowed in. I did it. If a better blender is truly coming for Christmas, I might start making that all the time. My blender does not get the oat milk as fine and smooth as the store-bought variety, but it works okay, and in a pinch, whether it's for financial reasons or being snowed in like I was, that's my magical oat milk recipe, and I will post that on the Facebook page. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I wish you well. This is my second recording. The first one, the sound quality was terrible. I hope this one is better. I don't know if that's because of the internet, the weather. Sometimes I don't know what causes the fallout. And then I post to Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube, and the sound quality is different on all 3, and I have no control over that from my end. So I apologize for when that happens, but that's nothing I have any control over. I use a high quality mic and high quality software. So much blessings. Feel free to contact me about these topics. Facebook, anonymous participant, the nickname feature, word banning, and how much we should have to accommodate people's needs. Should we have to give up all of our vocabulary because people don't like a word? I'd love to hear your opinions on it. If you try the oat milk, let me know how that goes too. I'm starting a new series on how to start a cottage lifestyle on little to no money. I posted 3 pictures of properties that were on Facebook Marketplace, so they were located in Pennsylvania. Those were legit. Those were real ads, real prices. I'm going to be doing a little bit more of that. These are not beautiful properties, but we didn't start with a beautiful property and we love it now. So, it's possible. We did it. You can get a home and create a homestead, magical cottage lifestyle for a very low amount of money with some simple tricks and knowing how to use certain resources. And I'll talk more about that in the future, and I'll post more on the Facebook page. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, blessings on your journey, and bye-bye.